question 10. I call on the Honourable Member for Onchan, Ms Edge.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'd like to ask the Minister for Education, Sport and Culture when schools normally receive their annual budgets, when schools received the annual budget this year, and if he'll make a statement.
Or the Minister for Education, Sport and Culture to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Schools usually receive notification of their budgets in February or March before the budget year begins. This year, Treasury requested that all departments produce a revised budget for 2020 to 2021 to review and include the financial effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which would enable the government to produce an economic recovery plan. In order to review the budgets in the required depth, a priority-based budgeting approach was adapted. This was planned within a tight deadline, allowing budgets to be finalised and announced in the form of the Purple Budget Book, which was presented to July Tynwald just as the schools closed for the summer break. During the first quarter of this financial year, the majority of schools had to be closed, and those that remained open as hubs were supported with the required finances and financial advice throughout the COVID period. Budgets were formally communicated to primary schools on the 6th of September and to our secondary schools on the 17th of September. The reason for the late issuance of budgets was explained to head teachers and financial support offered if problems were encountered. Thank you.
Supplementary question, Ms Edge.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And I thank the Minister for actually at last the Department for Education have done a priority-based approach, because I've been calling for that for considerable time. The Minister, I'm sure, is aware that a member was seconded from his department to deal with priority-based budgeting, and I'd like him to confirm that is still continuing and working with Treasury. The Minister's also just stated that there is, if any school has got any difficulties, they need to contact the department. Can the Minister confirm, therefore, that the original budget for schools was fully passed on to the schools, or has some been held back so that you can help whichever schools feel they are struggling?
Minister to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I can confirm that our Finance Director is working very closely with Treasury throughout this process, and also that the 9 primary schools and 5 secondary schools and the special education unit within UCM that remained open during the COVID period were advised to use the previous budget as a guideline, and any extra expenditure due to COVID would be reimbursed. Thank you.